Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Volunteer Celebration and Concert, hosted by Asian volunteers. My name is April.
Good evening. My name is Jason. Tonight we're here for 3 reasons. For gathering to recognize the contributions of our volunteers, to promote volunteering in our community, as well as celebrating Dragon Boat Festival. 端午节安康。
端午节安康。Jason， 你在亚洲居住过很多年，你对亚洲的文化应该很了解。那么问你一个问题，端午节的精神是什么？你知道吗？
It's true, I have lived in Asia for many years, and I do know quite a bit about Asian cultures. So what is the spirit of Dragon Boat Festival? Well, with anything, it's food. It has to be. The sticky rice balls called 粽子. Very, very delicious. 特别好吃. I'm just kidding. The spirit of Dragon Boat Festival, what is it? Well, it's similar to these posters we have on the side. Dragon Boat Festival is similar to volunteering. It's all of us working together, doing our part, striving together to make things better and to move forward.
你说的太好了。用我们中国的成语来说呢，就是无私奉献和同舟共济。This is exactly why we're here to celebrate this spirit, as well as show our respect and appreciation to the volunteers. To officially start our concert, we would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather today, and pay our respects to their elders past, present, and emerging, while extending that respect to any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people here today.
We would also like to welcome some special guests today. Mr. Boy Deputy Chairperson of the Victorian Multicultural Commission. Dr. Karina Garland, the Federal MP for Chisholm. Mr. Meng Heng Tak, the State MP for Clorinda. Councillor Tina Samartja, Mayor of City of Monash. Mr. Paul Hamer, the State MP for Box Hill. Mr. Matt Freegon, the State MP for Ashwood. Councillor Li Zhang, Deputy Mayor of the City of Glen Eira. Ms. Jennifer Schuff, from the City of Whitehorse. We also have Harold Weldon, who's a publisher and cultural ambassador between Australia and China, and Warren Wills, a famous pianist, composer, and musical director with the Young World Choir, as well as those representatives from the multicultural communities we have here today. Firstly, we'd like to welcome Mr. Boite, Dr. Karina Garland, Mr. Meng Heng Tak, and Councillor Tina Samartja to the stage to give us a few words.
Good evening, everyone. I'm very delighted to be here and to be part of this very exciting and very important celebration. May I also begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians upon the land which we gathered here today, and I pay my respect to the elders past, present, and emerging. I know we have, I was very impressed that we have so many dignitaries here, and I'm not going to read out all the names, but I think the representation from our parliamentarians from federal, state, and local government signifies how important and special tonight's celebration is, and I look forward to that. Also, I want to acknowledge our faith leaders, community elders who are here with us. Thank you for being with us this evening and making this occasion a very special and memorable one. A very wise friend of mine mentioned to me not very long ago that when you speak, put it to 2 points only. So I'm going to say 2 points. The first point is that this week is Refugee Week, and today being the last day of the week, I just want us to pause our celebration and remind ourselves that at this moment there are over 100 million refugees, people seeking safety across the globe. I think these are our brothers and sisters, and to, I guess, advocate for them so that they can have, I guess, so that they can find peace and safety. As a person of lived experience, I want to state that people from refugee backgrounds are survivors. We go on to build meaningful lives, raise our families with love, start businesses, support our communities, and advocate for the rights of our fellow humans. We embrace new cultures, lifestyle, and at the same time, we honor the tradition of our homelands and generously share our culture with others. I'm very proud that the Victorian Multicultural Commission hosted earlier this week the 3rd annual Victorian Refugee Awards, and in recognition of some of our amazing community champions. And I wanted to encourage those who are in attendance tonight that please nominate so that we can share those beautiful stories, so that it can uplift our souls. The second point is I want to thank President Brian Huang and all the executive committee members of the Asian Australia Volunteers and all its members for the incredible work you do to enhance our community, from small things to big things. All the work that you do adds to the, I guess, the fabric of our multiculturalism, and we are incredibly proud of you. And I think, and to add to that, your contribution to our society was acknowledged through the Multicultural Excellence Award last year, and I think that is a testimony of what an amazing work you do for our society. So thank you all so much. I will keep it there. Thank you all once again for having me. Such a pleasure, and I look forward to the performance and meeting all our community members. Thank you.
Next up is Dr. Karina Garland.
Thank you so much. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and congratulate and thank Asian Australian volunteers for all the work that you do in our community. It's impossible to support communities without volunteers, so my real gratitude for all the work that the group has done, especially over the last few years, which have been particularly difficult. We're still in the middle of a pandemic and people are still requiring particular kinds of support that perhaps they didn't before. So I'm really grateful for the work of the group supporting our community. I've just come back from Canberra and I'm really pleased to be part of a government that is trying to think of new ways to support volunteers. So whether it's through volunteer grants or whether it's through making sure we've got enough incentives to encourage people in the community to participate in volunteering. We're looking at all of those options because, as I mentioned before, it is impossible to do all of the important work that needs to be done in our communities without the important contribution, the generous contribution of volunteers. I'm really pleased to be able to be here tonight with so many friends and new friends too that I haven't met yet, and to enjoy some wonderful music. Really looking forward to it. As a federal representative, my office is always very busy supporting our community in lots of different ways, and I just wanted to emphasise that my door's always open to anyone here if there's anything that should they need support with. So thanks once again, and looking forward to tonight's performance. Thank you so much.
Next is Mr. Mung Heng Tak.
Thank you very much for having me here tonight. It's a great honor, and I would like to acknowledge once again all the dignitary from Federal Dr. Karina Garland, State Federal Member for Chisholm, my parliamentary colleague Paul Hammer, Member for Box Hill, and Matt Freegan, Member for Ashwood, but most importantly Deputy Speaker, and Lee Jung, Deputy Mayor for City of Glen Ara, Mayor of City of Monash, Tina Samaji, my good friend Bibi from the multicultural Sunday I also see here, and also good friend Mr. Rockwood here, and to the many of the community leaders and faith leaders, I would like to acknowledge each and every one of you. I have 2 points to add as a state member along the suburban rail loop, where we also have the large number of the multicultural diversity community that choose to celebrate and also to live in here in the southeast. A very vibrant and multicultural, and I'm very proud to be part of a government that not only acknowledge but celebrate our multiculturalism. That's why we're here tonight, join you to celebrate the Dragon Boat Festival. It's a festival that also allow us to come together to acknowledge that. For that reason, I would like to acknowledge and I'm very grateful for Mr. Brian Huang, the President and Committee of the AAV, and Dao Jong Chow, the MCO. Very grateful also to the many of the community, about 20 who come to celebrate here, the volunteers week here. I commend your effort and urge and each of you to continue whatever you do. This is our home together, and only together that we can celebrate, and we will be strong and much stronger that we unite. I would like to conclude by saying that I'm very proud, and on behalf of my parliamentary colleague here, that our success in terms of multiculturalism is come from each and every one of you who are very proud of our traditions and culture to celebrate here. Tonight is another testament of that. Thank you very much, and I leave it there, looking forward to the many performances. Thank you very much.
And lastly, we have Councillor Tina Samarja.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here, and on behalf of Monash Council, I would also like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands that make up Monash, the Wurundjeri Woi-wurrung and the Bunurong people, and recognise their continuing connection to the land and the waterways. I would also like to acknowledge all the dignitaries here tonight. I won't go ahead and name them all, but thank you to the speakers who preceded me, Wei Tay, Dr. Karina Garland, the federal member for Chisholm, and Meng Heng Tak, the member for Clarinda. Asian Australian Volunteers is a very special organisation committed to fostering connections with our multicultural community and to supporting our community's most disadvantaged and vulnerable people. Tonight we celebrate the tireless work of these special volunteers and the incredible teams that support them. Volunteering, as I'm sure everyone in this room understands, is a wonderful way to support our community. It provides a sense of purpose and meaning for many, and it's a fun way to spend time with like-minded people. Monash Council is also incredibly proud of our 300 plus volunteers who help to provide vital services to our community. Our volunteers work across a range of social inclusion programs, library programs, Museum of Australian Photography initiatives, children's playgroups, garden guides and Meals on Wheels programs. So on behalf of Monash Council, I would like to thank Asian Australian Volunteers once again for the wonderful community work that you undertake. I'm so proud that Council is able to support you in this regard. And of course, a huge congratulations to all the volunteers here tonight. It's such a pleasure to join you. I really look forward to the performance this evening. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you very much for all of those kind words of encouragement. Additionally, the Federal Minister for Home Affairs, the Honourable Claire O'Neill MP, and Honourable Jacinta Allen MP, who's the Minister for the Suburban Loop, send their apologies and their sincere best wishes for the concert tonight. Now, we are in for a treat, folks. We have some wonderful musical and arts presentations ready for you tonight. And without further ado, let's welcome to the stage the Melbourne Chinese Orchestra, who will be performing for you two pieces, Good Day and A Man Should Stand Strong. The conductor tonight is Song Jingke.
有请墨尔本中华乐团带来《好日子》，男儿当自强。有请指挥宋金科。 For those of you who don't know, Melbourne Chinese Orchestra is a not-for-profit orchestra which evolved from Melbourne River Chinese Band, established July 2011. That's 12 years. So over the last 12 years, the orchestra has grown to what it is today. As you can tell, it's full of many different instruments, both traditional Chinese and Western. What kind of instrument did you see? Do you remember? Anyone shout it out? Erhu, yes.
Violin. Trumpet. Sax.
Yangqin, yes, Yangqin.
Guzheng.
小提琴
Saxophone. Drums.
大提琴 yes.
Yep.
笛子
Yes. Tons. There were lots. Pipa. I just saw pipa.
琵琶 yes, 琵琶
Right. This. Take my mic off. Cello. Yes. Saw that as well. Now, this combination of musical sounds has delighted audiences across Victoria for the last 12 years. And we're very lucky to have them with us today. In fact, we're going to be hearing from the orchestra later in the program, and from ensembles that are made up from these very talented members. Additionally, we're going to hear soloists from the group perform as well. But before we do, I need to apologize. I may have said some cities' names wrong and pronounced some names incorrectly earlier on, but as you can tell from my accent, I'm from Adelaide. So that's how it is. Another joke for you before we do progress. A little bit of a musical dad joke. Would you like to hear it? Yeah. Yeah, good. I got some dads in the audience. What kind of music are balloons afraid of? Pop music.
Thank you, Jason.
No problem.
Well done. Yeah, well done. Yeah. So when the curtains reopen, we will be hearing a soloist perform on one of China's famous traditional instruments. I just heard that. As you can see, when it's reopened, you can see it. I just heard that instrument earlier. As the curtain reopen, yes. Welcome Annie Wang to the stage with her 古筝. Let's have a close look at the 古筝. 安妮，我们可以看一下您的古筝吗？我们看一下，古筝 also known as a Chinese zither. It's a wooden plucking instrument that has 21 or more strings. 古筝 players often wear fake nails. 安妮，能给我们看一下吗？ Fake nails or picks on their fingers. I can see Annie wear some picks on the fingers to pluck the strings. Annie is going to be performing a 古筝 solo. Spring comes to Lhasa. 有请安妮给我们带来古筝独奏《春到拉萨》。
Thank you, Annie. That was beautiful. There's another Chinese traditional instrument which is incredible as well. And it's incredible because it's so versatile. It can sound like, well, in the untrained hand, it can sound like two cats fighting. And in the trained hand, it can sound like 1,000 horses running across the Mongolian plains. And the cool part is it only has 2 strings. You've probably guessed it. It's called an erhu. And tonight we have Sam Xu, who is going to bring us an erhu solo called Horse Racing. After that, we're going to continue the theme with horses with a Mongolian dance called Old Yellow Horse by the Huayu Dancing Group. Sam.
Yes.
Here he is.
Yeah.
Would you like to say a few words?
First of all, I would like to say thank you for having me here. Such a wonderful night. And I'm a volunteer for decades in Australia. 1 decade, more than 1 decade. And some of you might know me in some events. I think being a volunteer as international students at studied, we are feel connected to the community, and we are also feel such achievements in our mind. And tonight I'm gonna perform a very traditional song called Horse Racing. Let me introduce this traditional instrument. This instrument created 1,000 years ago called erhu. Er in Chinese character stands for 2. So it has 2 strings, the inner string and external string. So in Chinese philosophy, we have a very significant theory. It's called yin and yang. Yin stands for the moon, yang stands for the sun. It's kind of like a theory of comparison, opposition. So, and when you playing the erhu, you're using 5 fingers. In traditional way, we have 5 majors. We do not have a minors. So 5 majors are related to 5 very important key elements, which is wooden, fire, and metal, water, and sword. So when you're playing it like you are acupuncture, All right, let's start the show. Hopefully you'll enjoy my yeah.
Thanks, Sam.
Steph Chen from the AAV. She's going to play a bamboo flute. Courtyard of Beauty, Colors of a Nation. 有请笛子独奏《满庭芳国策》。有请 Steph Chen。
Thank you, everyone. Hi, guys. I'm Steph, and happy Dragon Boat Festival, everyone! Yay! And I hope awesome. First of all, thank you so much for the AAV, the Australian Asian Volunteers, for making this all possible for tonight, and awesome to see everyone be here. It's very cool. Yeah, and I hope everyone has many zongzi, the sticky rice dumplings for dinner, breakfast, or lunch. I love the sweet ones, they're the best. Yeah, you got that, yeah. And so today I'm going to introduce my instrument. So, as you can see, this is called the Chinese flute, or you can call it the bamboo flute or the dizi. So, of course, it's made out of bamboo. It has 12 holes, 6 finger holes, and also it has around 8,000 years of history. How amazing is that, right? So the earliest can be form of bone flute and whistle flute. And so the song I'm playing today is about traditional Chinese colors. So altogether, there is around 384 traditional colors. That is awesome, right? Yeah! Woo! Yeah, and so I'm going to introduce the 5 major Chinese colors. So the first one is black. So different of 5 elements. So black represents the water element. So it represents the knowledge, wisdom, and power. White is an unlucky color, represents the element of metal. So it's like funerals, like it's unlucky that people pass away. So Chinese people don't really use that color. And so interesting color is called qing. So it's a combination of blue and greenish color that is wood element. So you can see in the spring and nature and in Chinese paintings, there is a bluish, greenish color combined, that when the birds are chirping and like farming and the land. And also the most important color is yellow. So yellow represents earth element, and that represents the royal highness in China. So you can see the emperor also wears the yellow robe, so it represents power and rank and status. And also there is the most famous and popular. Does anyone know in the audience? Yay! Chinese red, you got it, man. Yeah, and red, we have a Chinese saying called hong hong huo huo. So it means red, red, fire, fire. So it's like you can see red everywhere in Chinese weddings, Chinese ceremonies in Chinatown, red lanterns, there is red everywhere. And red pockets are red as well. That's awesome, right? Yeah, and also today I'm gonna play the song with my flute. So it's a combination of China's landscape of the land and mountains and rivers, and it's a combination of the different colors that represents. So I hope everyone enjoys. Thank you very much.
great. Thanks, Steph. Chaoxianzu Wudao, or Korean minority dances, are well known as some of the hardest dances in China. The range of movements combined with the expressions that are on the faces of these dancers really expresses a very incredible story. We're going to welcome to the stage Meilan Jin, Shui Hua Kiao, and Lili. They'll be performing a dance to a 600-year-old song called Arira.
Thank you for the lovely dance. The next song is not as old as Ali Lang. However, it is a fantastic traditional Finnish tone called the Leven polka. This evening, Xiao Feng Chen and Ming Zhang will be performing this tune for us on the accordion. 我们有请小冯张 and 张明来带来手风琴二重奏《微笑波尔卡》。 a psychological study found an interesting fact. Among all the things we do bring us joy, which one is the number one in bringing stronger and long-lasting joy? Can you say that again?
Volunteer.
Yes. Yes. Volunteer, doing volunteer job. The joy is stronger and provides longer lasting happiness. So we can all agree on one thing. I am a happy volunteer. So next up is an original song and dance. I am a happy volunteer by Victoria Chinese Culture and Arts Association. They will be showing a slideshow highlighting some of the volunteer activities that have taken place around Victoria.
I'm a happy volunteer, wherever near I'll be there. Helping others brings me joy. I lend a hand, I spread the love, and make a difference every day. There's nothing like the happiness that comes from giving it away. I'm a happy volunteer, wherever needed I'll be there. I help you, you help me, spread the love everywhere.
Happy volunteer, wherever needed, I'll be there. You'll be happy, I'll be happy too. Spread warmth everywhere.
I'm a happy volunteer, wherever needed I'll be there. Helping others brings me joy. I lend a hand, I spread the love, make a difference every day. There's nothing like the happiness that comes from giving it away. I'm the happy volunteer, wherever needed I'll be there. I help you, you help me, spread the love everywhere. I'm the happy volunteer, wherever needed I'll be there.
You'll be happy, I'll be happy too. Spread warmth everywhere. I'm a happy volunteer, wherever needed, I'll be there.
Together we can make a change, together make a change. I'm a happy volunteer, wherever needed I'll be there. Helping others brings me joy. I lend a hand, I spread the love, make a difference every day. There's nothing like the happiness that comes from giving it away. I'm the happy volunteer, wherever needed I'll be there. I help you, you help me, spread the love everywhere. I'm the happy volunteer, wherever needed I'll be there.
You'll be happy, I'll be happy too. Spread warmth everywhere. I'm a happy volunteer, wherever needed, I'll be there.
Together we can make a change, together make a change.
Australia truly is a multicultural society, and it's important that we have multicultural volunteers within our community. Thousands of culturally and linguistically diverse Australians volunteer both within and outside of our communities. And in AAV, we have volunteers from many different Asian countries. And we are here to celebrate all of these cultural backgrounds. To help us do that this evening, we have Jenny and her friends who will be performing for us an Indonesian dance called Demi Sinta Nyonya.
Dari dulu dalam sejarah asmara Jenny.
Before you leave,
Jenny and friends.
come on out. Come on outside the curtain. Yep.
Can we have all step forward?
Here you are.
Thank you. Jenny and friends, thank you for sharing the lovely dance. Can you tell us a little bit about the song under the dance?
Yes, the dance is Indonesian, is very popular. It's about love, and so it's a beautiful song, all about love, and this is what we're doing here, volunteering, it's all about love.
And Jenny and friends, can we all introduce yourself and your cultural background?
Yes, I'm a Vietnamese Chinese, and I've been in Australia for forever. I've been 45 years, and I basically grew up here, and yes.
Hi, my name is Ruth. I was born in Vietnam during the war, and I was adopted and grew up in England, and I married an Australian, so I'm here.
Hi, my name is Kathy Wiwong, and I'm from Indonesia, Chinese.
Hi, my name is Linda Wong. I'm from Malaysia. I'm Malaysian Chinese. I've been in this beautiful country for the past 15 years.
Hello, my name is Jenny. I'm from Indonesia.
Hello, my name is Kinchi. I'm another Wong as well, and I'm Malaysian Chinese.
Hi, I'm Nadia. I'm from Indonesia. Not Chinese, but my dad looks a bit Japanese. My mom looks a bit Indian, but just Indonesian.
Okay. Jenny, I have another 2 questions for you. Okay, how did you find out about AAV and become part of it?
When I was coming to Australia, I was a refugee, and so during those desperate hours, I had helped. So I really wanted to put back into the community, and so I would look up and I actually found AAV on Facebook. So pretty much, yeah. And then everything what AAV does, it stands for me, it stands out for me is social justice, and not leaving anyone behind. We're helping all the disadvantaged and vulnerable people in the community, and I really loved this community. We all live in a world, with compassion, and so I wanted to join and to be part of it. And by using dancing, I hope to be able to use that to help with performances, for the events.
So, what did you do regarding volunteering and within and outside AAV?
I've always, when I work in the city, outside of AAV, I actually see homeless people and I would buy lunch for them and I would talk to them. So I'm pretty much, during my lunch hour, of course. And I do donation using my own money and also, rehearsals, with dancers and that. Sometimes I use my own money for the dance studio, for the space. So outside of, donations and pretty much I organize the also Melbourne Cup, like parties, like Melbourne Cup parties to raise the money, and I use my own money, and then with a lot of help from friends and everybody very supportive, and so we were able to raise some money for the flood victims, and so that's one of the things.
Thank you very much. And you just mentioned, adding one more question. You just mentioned that AAV is very important. Can you tell us a little bit more why AAV is important to you?
As a nation myself, I feel that we need to have a voice to do good for the community, and I think, and I feel that there is a need for that group, that we can become stronger. So it doesn't matter which other Asian country you're from, or even, so that we're all Australians. And we're here to, to help Australia grow and be a compassionate country. And then we can, generations and generations, we can have benefit from that. Yes.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you all for the beautiful dance. Thank you.
We have one more person to interview this evening, Mr. Da Gong Cao, who is the director of the Melbourne Chinese Orchestra, who'll be coming up shortly, and we're going to ask him a couple questions about the orchestra to find out more about its history and what does it do in our community. Well, it's not coming from that door.
大公，请我们可以采访大公2个问题吗？我猜想大公一定在后面在做准备呢，对不对 ，Jason？ 我刚刚看到大公穿梭于我们幕后，在抬东西、准备东西，对吧 ，Jason？ 大公一定是在准备下一个节目。我们看看大公有没有到。我好像听见了。姗姗来迟啊！欢迎欢迎您。
Ni hao. So I'm going to ask the question in English. He'll answer in Chinese, and I'll try and translate for you. Try as best I can. Can you introduce the MCO briefly?
幕府中华乐团，中华乐团呢是我们一个非盈利的那个音乐团体，我们是由一些退休的老的艺术家和一些音乐爱好者以及志愿者组成的，我们的主要任务是说服务于社区，服务于社团，希望能够在那个社团里面、社区里面起一个融合的。包容、互相包容的一个作用。
The Melbourne Chinese Orchestra is a non-for-profit orchestra. It's made up mostly of retired and non-professional musicians. The purpose of the group is to uphold the Chinese musical traditions while integrating into the multicultural landscape of Australia. Another question for you. What are the main social activities that the Melbourne Chinese Orchestra takes part in?
我们主要的任务是能够，我们是积极参加那个澳大利亚的那个各种的活动，比如说国庆节那个叫圣诞节等等，以及中国的传统节日，因为我们是一个华人社团，所以我们主要的那个参加华人的那个节目活动，比如像春节端午节或者那个叫什么？还有中秋节，对，是最主要的能够跟大家一起，跟社团一起搞活动。
Right. Well, the orchestra participates in major events like on Australia Day and Christmas, as well as Chinese festivals like the New Year, Dragon Boat Festival, and the Mid-Autumn Festival. Now, in addition to that, I know that the orchestra has performed at many businesses and schools, and nursing homes, and they've brought a lot of joy and happiness to many people in our community, as well as our audience today. So thank you very much for joining us and for helping.
谢谢大家，你们对我们的支持，我们将再接再厉，在以后的活动中，提高我们的技术，积极的为澳大利亚的社区、为华人社团、为一些其他各民族的社团服务。谢谢大家。
I'll give him a minute to get back there and prepare once again. But next up, what we have is the Melbourne Chinese Orchestra. They will be performing 3 pieces for us. These 3 works will be played using stringed instruments. And there will be 3 different ensembles. So the first ensemble will be playing plucked string instruments, and they will be playing the song, The Girl from Daban City.
下面有请墨尔本中华乐团带来弹拨乐齐奏《大阪城的姑娘》。
The next ensemble is a violin ensemble, and they will be performing a song called Spring of Xinjiang, which is a lively tune that brings to life the changing of the seasons in Xinjiang, which is also called the Uyghur region of China. Xinjiang is located in the northwest of China and is also known for the Uyghur minority group who have a unique language, culture, music, and food. And speaking of food, this is my area of expertise. They have a very special dish called da panji, which is, oh, it's divine. A layer of noodles, some chicken, some spice. Oh, if you're ever in the Footscray area, I know a great restaurant too. Just let me know. Enough about food. Let's hear this song, Spring of Xinjiang. The last ensemble is a 10-piece string ensemble. and they will be playing for us a song called Butterfly Lovers. Now, for those of you who don't know, this song comes from a story called, well, in Chinese it's called Yangzhu, which is the combination of two names, of a man's name and a woman's name, Liang Shanbo and Zhu Yingtai. So, Zhu Yingtai, I'll tell you the story about it, because it's actually really fascinating, and I need to stall a bit so they can set up back there. But the story is actually really beautiful. Let me tell you. Zhu Yingtai was a young woman, and she was a daughter of a very wealthy man. And she wanted to go study, and during that time, women weren't allowed to study. So she went disguised as a man. She met Liang in class, and they were attracted to each other and quickly became friends. A few years later, Zhu was recalled by her father, and he had promised her hand in marriage to a son of another wealthy family from a neighboring village. Liang paid Zhu a visit at her family home, and to his great surprise, she was a she, not a he. So his friendship developed a bit further, and it developed into something else. Liang asked Zhu to marry him, only to be rejected by her family on account of her betrothal. Well, he was grief-stricken, so much so that he actually died. And at his request was buried by the roadside outside the village of Zhu's fiancée, where the lady was bound to pass on her wedding day. When the appointed day arrived, Zhu was escorted by the fiancée's house to complete the wedding ceremony, and a raging storm ensued. It suddenly broke out, and the whole procession had to stop. She got out, and she looked over at the grave and mourned her lover. All of a sudden, the tomb opened up, and she threw herself inside without hesitation. Instantly, the sky cleared, the sun came out again, and to the amazement of those nearby, the bride was no more. Instead, there were a pair of butterflies fluttering around the grave before they fluttered off into the distance. Now, let's listen to Butterfly Lovers.
It is with great pleasure that I introduce to you our next performer. She is a true master of her instrument, the Chinese lute, also called a pipa. Xiaomei Wang. Today, we are privileged to hear this pipa soloist, a true ambassador of cultural exchange, as she takes us on a musical journey playing Jasmine Suite. 有请王小梅带来《茉莉花组曲》。
Thank you, Ms. Wang. Next, we have a semi-chorus who will be performing an inspiring tune, which has been made famous in recent years by a few groups, in particular Josh Groban and Westlife. The song is You Raise Me Up. And this song will be led by Ben Tai. And let's welcome them to the stage.
I'm sure a lot of you know this song.
And I believe that this song really represents the spirit of the organization. So I will invite you, if you know the song, please sing the chorus with us, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Ben and children, for the uplifting song. And music is a great representation of culture. So, Jason, you have been to many other countries, and you have a diverse background. In saying that, what kind of music do you like?
Anything I can dance to. Gangnam Style. It's one of my favorites. But in all seriousness, I actually do like a variety of music. My family is multicultural, and we're lucky to be in Australia, to have the opportunity to experience music from many different cultures and different backgrounds. One of the privilege is that we can take part in and play music from other countries, like we're doing tonight. I mean, tonight alone we've heard music from Finland, from China, from Korea, from Indonesia, all over the place. And the MCO is a great example of this, as they play songs from China and from around the world. Tonight they're also going to be playing a song from Australia.
The Melbourne Chinese Orchestra will be performing our final two songs next. The first is a song that describes the wonders of the Hulunbuir grassland. The famous Hulunbuir grassland is one of the 4 largest and the best preserved grassland in the world. Its lush plants, unpolluted air, flocks and herbs, and unique ethnic culture attract visitors from all over the globe. This song will definitely take you there.
After that, the orchestra will play one of Australia's most famous folk songs, Waltzing Matilda. The song itself dates back to 1895 when Banjo Patterson was visiting a station in remote Queensland. There, he heard his fiance's friend playing a tune, and he composed the words to Waltzing Matilda's first verse on the spot. Today, the story of the swagman camping by the billabong has become an unofficial Australian anthem. Now, for those who don't know, the title was Australian slang for traveling on foot or waltzing with one's belongings in a Matilda, which is a swag. You sling it over your back. And the song narrates the story of an itinerant worker or a swagman who's making a drink of tea at a bush camp when he captures a stray jumbuck, which is a sheep. When that jumbuck's owner finds out, he isn't very happy, and he brings some policemen or troopers with him to pursue the swagman for theft. That's when he declares, "You'll never catch me alive," and he jumps into the nearby billabong, after which his ghost haunts the site. This new arrangement of this bush ballad offers a new sound for the Chinese orchestra this evening, and a fresh setting to this famous tune. It is an excellent example of Western compositional devices in Chinese orchestral music. So this evening, please enjoy these 2 songs performed by the MCO.
有请墨尔本中华乐团带来呼伦贝尔大草原和丛林流浪，指挥夏红。 老师，我们再来返场一个好不好？金科老师。互动一个，好，给您一个麦克好吗？
谢谢。感谢作为在座的所有观众，非常感谢来看我们的演出。中华乐团成立的时间其实也有很长时间了，但是都是一些退休的老同志，都不容易。我们现在跟观众互动一下，我数1、2、3、4、5。
As we mentioned before, the majority of the members, they are retired, they are not professional. So today, Jinke will bring us audience participation. So when Jinke 老师 say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
我数到5，1、2、3、4、5，我们大家拍手啊。
when Jinke says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we all clap our hands.
大家跟我一起做一下，好不好？1、2、3、4、5。1、2、3、4、5。我们再来一次，大家现在1、2、3、4、5拍腿，放进去。
Okay. When Jinke says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we all hit our legs.
1、2、3、4、5。1、2、3、4、5。好，我们再来一个。1、2、3、4、5，喊嘿嘿。
I don't need to translate. Yes, hey hey.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hey hey.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hey hey.
谢谢。
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and fellow volunteers, what an incredible night of celebration we have had here today at Volunteer Celebration Concert.
Give yourselves a round of applause for being the lifeblood of the Asian Australian volunteers. Thank you once again for being part of the Asian Australian Volunteers family and for making tonight an unforgettable experience. We have quite a few people to thank, people who are working behind the scenes the whole time, people who have been doing our sound engineer and the videographers and the video people, everybody that's been working very hard around the clock on this. Thank you very much. Let's continue to inspire and uplift one another as we embark on new adventures with both courage and a bit of humor. Together we can make a world of difference.
Before we officially bring this night to a close, I would like to invite our esteemed representatives, the members of parliament, multicultural community leaders, and all our distinguished guests to join us on stage for a group photo. Don't worry, we have Photoshop. Welcome.
Yes, please come up and we'll have a photo together with the band in the background.